here again for yet another off-season recap video. A ton of news has just went down, and I had to get it out to you guys. Let's get started. For our first story, the Toronto Defiant has signed Twilight from the San Francisco Shock. This is a massive pickup for them and the start of something amazing, hopefully. Lastro was great, but Twilight is a top 5 flex support and has been for a long time. Hopefully, KTG can turn him and Hisu into one of the best cores in Overwatch. There are a lot of people that could duo with Twilight. Slime, Chio and Jex are all people I can imagine going to Toronto, especially now that they seem to be going full Korean. Overall, great pickup from the Defiant. Next is that Houston has officially dropped every player except for Piggy and Tay, and are keeping Junk Bunk. Also, they have allegedly signed Pelican from the Atlanta Reign. While Pelican is a huge pickup for them, Crimzo and Jiang and Dreamer are big losses. I think both of those players were phenomenal for the Outlaws and a big factor of their success early into the season. I've already talked about how good Happy is. They have some serious holes in their roster, but no one can deny how good these 3 players are. Pelican is MVP tier, Dante is an amazing Sombra and Tracer, and Piggy is probably the best Sigma in the league. If they can keep up the signings, they shouldn't have problems being a title contender next year. Next up, Shock news. Choi Hyobin has retired, but the Shock have also signed Kilo, Proper and Finn from O2 Blast. Chua's retirement hits hard. He is a legendary off-tank, probably the best diver in the game's history, and seems like a cool dude to be around. All of these retirements are tragic, gonna need to commemorate them all. However, these pickups are absolutely massive. Proper is considered by many to be the Korean Leave, an ultimate flex player with a killer Tracer, and he was one of the biggest free agents of the off-season. Them picking him up is huge. Kilo is a similar player to Ans, a pure hitscan that gets a ton of value from Proper and the tank creating space. Finally, Finn is an insanely good flex support who will be a phenomenal partner to Vile 2T and double flex support meters. Honestly, under Krusty and Ninek, this roster is filthy. 2 of the best DPS from contenders and the best flex support from Korean contenders. I was a bit worried that they would go budget, but it seems like NRG is throwing all of their money at players to turn Shock into a title contender yet again come next year. Not sure who else they will sign. They could honestly just sign all of O2 and still be a title contender, or they could sign back Moth or Charong. They also need a flex DPS and their entire tankline. Update: while I was writing the script for this video, the San Francisco Shock announced that Super is returning for the 2022 season. Honestly huge, he is such a great player and very flexible. I'm expecting him to be key to the Shock's success going into 2022. Now, all they need is a main support, a flex DPS and probably another tank. I'm expecting more explosive pickups. The Shock cannot be stopped. Next, the Fusion have officially dropped Funny Astro, Poco and Eco, and are allegedly signing MN3 from their academy team. MN3 is a bit of a head-scratcher. He is insanely good, one of the best talent in Korean contenders, but his hero pool overlaps heavily with Carp. I would have rather they signed a Hisu-like player who can flex DPS, but also has a good Sombra and Tracer. MN3 has both of those to a decent level, but still confusing why they would immediately go for him rather than someone who isn't exactly Carp. Still, a big pickup. He would probably be a shoo-in on any other roster. With J1M from T1 here, it will be interesting to see how they integrate him alongside Carp. Next, Seoul have signed Stork 3R from their academy team. Stork 3R is an extremely talented player, on par with Prophet in terms of skill and flexibility. He can play projectile alongside Prophet, and can work extremely well with Fitz Hitscan. He can fill pretty much any role for them that they need. Seoul honestly are contenders for the best DPS line in the league now. Prophet, Fitz and Stork 3R are too good, and a great core to build around. Other teams better be scared. Next, the Boston Uprising have dropped Gibalsai, who is now LFT. I think he's a phenomenal tank, on par with Punk, and would be a good fit on many rosters. I could see him on Seoul honestly. Hope he gets picked up, he deserves it. Next, Florida is apparently in shambles now that Atlanta has poached the American Tornado support line, and is going for a mixed roster, and they are signing Gunber for their head coach. Florida is still a mystery box. I have to assume they pick up, say, Hydran and Reiner, but no idea what Korean players they could pick up. Gunber is also a bit of a head-scratcher. He is a great coach but hasn't coached Overwatch in over a year, as he moved to Valorant for a while. He is still good though, so I wouldn't start dooming just yet. We'll see, but it seems like the beginnings of a disaster for Florida, as their plans are now in shambles. But it is still really early into the off-season, anything could happen. Finally, Feather from New York has retired from Overwatch. He didn't get much playtime on New York, but he looked pretty decent while he was in, and plus he's only 19 so he could have grown a lot more. I guess there's a chance he returns, but honestly I doubt there's much interest in him. Unfortunate. With that out of the way, thanks for watching and remember to like and subscribe for more. I upload almost daily Overwatch League content and am trying to hit 100 subs by Season 5 helps greatly. Thanks.